Hi everybody, this is Tammy and I am back to share with you some of the past Saturday morning makes items that I've recently created. I've been posting them on Instagram, but I haven't done videos on them. I've been out of commission a little bit for a few weeks and I wasn't able to really get into my craft room. The things that I was able to do, I actually did them in my living room. I had already started on them, but I completed them in my living room. So now I'm good and I can, get into my craft room to do videos. So the first thing that I shared was some recipe tags. I had done a previous video sharing with you that Marilyn G had inspired me to want to do some recipe tags. So I found this die on paper tray ink. This is the one that she had used in a video that she shared. And then I also had this die in my stash that I had gotten from Hobby Lobby on one of their awesome clearances. And this is a Momenta die. And I used this die right here. And it fits perfectly into the paper tray ink die. So I used those two. And then, so these are some that I haven't completed yet. So you can see I did use some vintage photo distress ink. Some I use walnut stain, and some I use the fired brick distress ink. So this one, I just love how this one looks so toasty. I used white 110-pound cardstock with the paper tray ink. And then the other one, I used the 65-pound cardstock from Michaels. Because what I did was I used some digital recipes. This is the larger of the recipes that I purchased from Chocolate Rabbit on Etsy. So it came with 4 different recipes. So I have these in with the 4 different recipes, but I sized them down so that I could fit them on this die cut piece here. So I sized them down, make sure I checked the size and all that, printed them out. I think I got like either 4 or 6 on a sheet. And then I laid the die on top of it and then cut it out with the die. So this is on like I said, 65-pound cardstock. I did pop them up with a really, really thin tape. So they're popped up just a little teeny bit, so they're not completely flat. But that was the cinnamon stars. This is the Christmas rum balls. And then this is the gingerbread men. Here is one for the Christmas fruit cake where I used the fired brick distress ink. And these are just some leftovers of the die. I love this die. I love the stitching and then of course the scalloped edges, but it is so pretty. The brown paper that I used is some paper that I got at a thrift store, which was awesome. So I used that thrifted dark chocolatey brown paper. So here's some that I did that are completed. So this is the first one. I used some seam binding, which I crinkled, and I believe this was the color already of the seam binding. I don't think I colored it or anything, but I did crinkle it, which is very, very easy to do. I added one of the Lily of the Valley little tags. I have a bunch of those in different sizes here. So here's one. I added one of the Tim Holtz. This is a brad, the little Jingle Bell brad. They don't make any noise in case, this does not belong here. In case, anybody was trying to, was wondering, those don't make any noise. So then I just used one of these puffy stickers. I believe these came from Hobby Lobby. I've had them in my stash. Either Hobby Lobby or Michaels. And I pulled out my enamel dots because I haven't used them in a while. So I used some enamel dots on there. And then here's another one. So this one I just used from this puffy sticker sheet. They had these little star-shaped sugar cookies. So I cut this one, I cut in half, and then this one is the whole thing. And you can see again I popped up this layer. So this one I printed it smaller. Here's that sheet. So I printed them smaller. I just took this sheet right here And when I printed it on my printer, I said to print them in 5x7. So it prints the whole page in a 5x7 format, and then I put 2 on a page. So it gave me this smaller size. So I just cut them out, and I just used them on here. I put some of the seam binding down here, and of course on the top, some more enamel dots, and then those puffy stickers. Here's one of the fruitcake ones where I did it with red. So I used red seam binding, and I actually wrapped a piece of the seam binding all the way across the top. I used some sequins. And then this is, it's from a little ephemera pack that I have. I think it's Simple Stories ephemera pack. It was from a collection from last year. And I just used that, love that little Santa stamp. And then the Hello Santa Claus, because it's some Christmas fruitcake. Cute, cute, cute. And then here's, oh, this is where this goes. And then this goes on here. I need to glue it better. Here's one with the gingerbread man. I've used this gold and natural jute twine. Another jingle bell. This is a whimsy stamp that I stamped and then cut out with a Martha Stewart punch. And then here are those puffy stickers and the enamel dots. And then this one, I kind of wrapped it like a package. And then I just cut this piece here and then just laid it down. I used I don't even know where that flower came from. It might be Prima, I'm not sure. Or it's either Prima or from Hobby Lobby. Another whimsy stamp, and then some more enamel dots. Very simple, but super, super cute. And the only thing I would need to do on them is stamp to and from. And then this one, I used a bunch of twine on the top. And this is a sticker that I had in my stash, and it just says Christmas cookies. And then these are cinnamon stars. I used a sticker. It's a little bowl with mix, and it was from a sticker sheet that had was about Christmas cookies. And then here's another one of the whimsy stamps. And then some more of the sequins. So I think those came out so cute, and I will definitely be making some more of them. I need to finish up the ones that I started, and then of course the ones that are you know are blank. I need to do those as well. But those were so fun to make. Okay, and then the next week I shared, so it's only 3 weeks worth of items. So then the next week I shared these wood plaques with recipes on them. These plaques I found at Dollar Tree. So here is one. They have different shapes. I'll show you all the shapes first that I have been able to find. And it's at the Dollar Tree, so they're all $1. I used to find these at Michael's, and they were, I don't remember, I think like $2 or something like that. I know Hobby Lobby still has them because I bought a couple previously to use to make some farmhouse stand like risers. But Dollar Tree can't beat it. So there's a circle one, there's this beautiful shape here, and then this one. Love this shape here. I got a couple of those. And of course this one. There's also a square. And then yesterday I found this one. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. And previously I had purchased these from Hobby Lobby. So these were $3.99, but then of course the Hobby Lobby fall stuff, it's with the fall stuff. So the Hobby Lobby fall stuff is 40% off, so you get it for less than that, but not for $1. These are a little bit bigger, and then the Dollar Tree ones are thicker, and the Dollar Tree one does not have a hole at the top, but you know, that really doesn't matter. So let me show you the one that I made here. So I painted it with some chalk paint, some Waverly chalk paint in white, and then I did a transfer technique using Mod Podge, and again I used the chocolate rabbit graphics, or the chocolate rabbit recipes. I printed them on just regular copy paper, but you have to reverse it. So if you printed the regular print, because you have to turn it over in order to do this technique, your recipe is going to come out backwards. So you have to reverse the image before you print it, or when you print it, depending on if you do it on your printer or in the program. And then print it out. I did use a laser printer to print them. And then you just use the Mod Podge. I'm going to do a tutorial. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube, but somebody asked me to do a tutorial, so I will do a separate video of a tutorial of it. So again, I painted it with the white Waverly chalk paint. I added a layer of the Mod Podge. I put the paper on top of it. Some of the instructions that I've seen said to wait 24 hours. I waited like 2 hours maybe. I just waited until I knew it was dry, because I didn't put a really thick layer of Mod Podge, and it was dry. So I actually prepared this one first. I put the Mod Podge, put down the paper, let it dry, and then this one I did the second, you know, immediately after I did this one, I put the Mod Podge, put the paper, let them both dry. And then when I knew they were dry, I did the process to take off the paper on this one first, and it came out perfect. This one, it didn't. You can see at the bottom a lot of the recipe is missing. So I'm not sure. There's two things that could have happened. I know my camera's not picking it up, but there's like lines in here, so there may have been bubbles. Even though I pressed it down really good and made sure there wasn't any bubbles, there could have been bubbles that popped up, or the paper wrinkled. The other thing is that when I put the Mod Podge on this piece, I just put the Mod Podge and like wiped it up just in one direction, and that was it. On this one, I wiped it up, I wiped it sideways, and then I wiped it up again, and then I put the paper on. So it could have been that it wasn't any more Mod Podge than I used on this one. It just could have been the technique of the way that I applied the Mod Podge. I'm not sure, but I am going to redo this one. And then you can see I just added some jute twine, some bells, some puffy snowflakes, and some gold thread, and then some poinsettias from Hobby Lobby. But I think it came out so cute. And this is the one of the Christmas fruit cake. These would make really, really cute gift ideas. Or obviously home decor pieces. I made mine for home decor. So love, love, love these. And like I said, I will do a tutorial, so that will be coming up. I guess the next video will be the tutorial for these. Okay, so this was my last Saturday Morning Makes project of the recipe. So I have been seeing these recipe pumpkins in Hobby Lobby, and I wanted one. When the first time I saw it, it was $35, and it was not on sale yet. Then, you know, of course, Hobby Lobby puts their fall stuff on sale for 40% off, and it stays that way for the longest. So right now, this is the pumpkin that I saw, and right now it's $21. So that's with the 40% off. But mine cost me $6.20 to make. A lot better, right? It might cost you a little bit more, but because I had the majority of the things that I needed to make this, it didn't cost me a lot. So I did have to buy the pumpkin. This is a paper mache pumpkin from Joann's. It was $9.99, but when I got it, it was 50% off, so I only paid $5 for it. I did purchase this recipe from an Etsy seller, and it was $1.20. I loved the font. I loved the font. I loved the little graphics of the pumpkins that she had on it. Here it is. And, you know, I love the font, the size, everything about it I really loved. So I actually printed it on water slide paper, which I have had in my stash. I found this at a thrift store a long time ago. Whenever I go thrifting, I always look in the stationery section to see if there's little grab bags or packets of like office forms and stuff. I found acetate, like I have a big stash of acetate sheets that I've gotten at a thrift store. The paper for the laminating sheets, I found a large supply of those at a thrift store, way less than what you would pay at a regular store. So this water slide paper, I've had it in my stash. It's a brand new package. I'm the one that opened it. There are 10 water slide sheets in here, and I just used one. I printed the recipe large, and then I printed it small on the same page. And then I painted the pumpkin with some ivory Waverly chalk paint. Then I went back into the grooves with some elephant chalk paint. It was a little too dark, so I took a baby wipe and kind of like wiped it down. So, and then it was, I still didn't really like it that much, so I went back over the grooves just with a light coat of the ivory. So it still has depth and like shading in that area, but I think I'm going to try to do it a little bit more, a little bit better. The other thing that I'm going to do, because this was my first time playing with water slides, and I don't know if it was the fact that, you know, I've got these at a thrift store a while ago and the paper might be a little bit old, but it didn't stick to this. So, you know, after it slid off the paper, I don't know if it, I don't know if it's supposed to be, I don't think it's supposed to be a sticky back, but I think it should like cling or something like that to your project. I don't know if it was the chalk paint or what, but it didn't stick that well. And because there's a lot of grooves in my pumpkin, I ended up putting a layer of Mod Podge on the bottom before I put the water, because I lifted the water slide back off. I put the Mod Podge and then I put it down. Wherever there was like grooves like this or curves, I had to cut the water slide to get it to lay flat. And then I kept pressing with my finger to get, you know, to push it into the grooves and also to get the edges to lay down. So one thing I know that I'm going to do is I'm going to cover at least this front part, maybe the whole pumpkin. I'm not sure. I might not put a layer of like glitter on it. The Tim Holtz glitter, just to make it like glittery, but I'm not sure. Because I see some wrinkles and that's kind of like bothering me. But I know that the pumpkin itself is wrinkly and it's not smooth, and I know that that's contributing to it. But the other thing is I need to put a layer of Mod Podge on the top, because the water slide paper is a little bit shiny, but the Mod Podge that I use is matte, so that'll take some of the shine off of it. The stem I covered with that same gold and natural jute twine that I have. I made a multi-loop bow. These are some Dollar Tree leaves that I had in my stash already, and then these little tassels I also had in my stash. So it cost me $5 for the pumpkin, $1.20 for the digital recipe, and that was it. Everything else I had in my stash. But I absolutely love the way this came out. And when you're looking at it from afar, you don't see all those wrinkles, and obviously you don't see all the imperfections. And to me, it looks just as good as, you know, the one that I would have bought if I would have bought it from a store. So love the way that turned out. And it's a nice size pumpkin. You can see my hand compared to the pumpkin. It's a really nice size. It's about the same size as the Hobby Lobby one. So love, love, love that. So those are all of my Saturday morning makes for I think it's been the last 3 weeks. Like I said, I did post them on you know, each Saturday on Instagram, but I wasn't able to do the video for them. So thank you so much everybody for watching. Also, Saturday morning makes, if you're not sure what it is, it's something that was started by Jill Norwood, where you just post on Instagram or Facebook. I don't know if they do Facebook, Instagram, or do a video of something that you created either throughout the week or on that Saturday morning or whatever. You use a hashtag SatMornMakes and then just share your project. So it's fun. I try to participate as much as I can, but a lot of times I don't have you know, the time during the week to craft, which is unfortunate because that's what I want to do, but work is very demanding. And then Saturdays I'm catching up on other stuff. So I do participate whenever I can. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and thank you so much, Jill, for starting this. It is a lot of fun. And stay tuned for my tutorial. Thanks. Hope you're all having a really great day. Bye.